I'm Julie Clark. I'm originally from the UK. I was born in Newcastle upon Tyne, which is in the north of England. I started British Airways in 1987. I didn't think I was going to be an international stewardess, but I ended up being a super shuttle professional stewardess. That was Glasgow, London, London, Edinburgh, Edinburgh, London, London, Manchester. I used to get headaches, but it was every day. And there was no pattern to it, whether I'd rested, whether I'd exercised. I did actually take about a packet of paracetamol per day prior to what happened on the plane. I was on a Moscow service. I had a headache when I woke up, got to work. My friend Angela Forbes was a nurse, she flight attendant too, and she said, "Are you okay?" I said, "Yeah, I've got a bit of a headache again." And she said, "Julie, you've always got headaches." And I went, "No, I think it's life, you know." Got on board the aircraft. I was working with Angela in what we call a mid-galley, and she noticed how many paracetamol I was taking throughout that shift. But my headache got really, really bad, like really bad on landing. We landed, we disembarked, I got on the aircraft and I said, "I don't feel very well." The eyesight on this eye had really gone quite odd. I can't remember really how I got home. Robert was my speaker from then on, and he said I walked in, put my trolley bag down and went straight upstairs, and he heard a thump on the floor. He went up and I was on the floor. I'd actually collapsed. The ambulance and the GP arrived together, and then they red lighted me to hospital. They tried to embolise twice and they couldn't do it, so they aborted on the second attempt. They couldn't do any more unless it was keyhole surgery to remove the vein, because I had an AVN that had been dripping for quite a while. Headache! And I don't know whether people know, but when you fly your blood pressure drops. That was my saving grace. The low blood pressure had made the drip slower. I was then discharged to think about surgery. In good old Julie style, during the time of being at home, which I couldn't do anything, I literally could not move, I chose to get married. The doctor, photographer and the vicar all said, "You need to cancel this wedding, Julie." And I said, "Why?" I had people coming from Italy, I had people coming from obviously Scotland, when I worked in Scotland, America, and they all had flights booked. Well, why would a girl cancel a wedding when people have planned and all of that sort of stuff? Inside the folder I had a list of names of people who were coming to the daytime of the wedding, and that was my only reference to having known that I had been planning a wedding. Met Robert in red cars in Bracknell Sports Centre car park, and then I knew straight away that there was something different. He was a good person. I proposed to Robert in 1992, and then I hemorrhaged 3 weeks before the wedding. Someone had said, "Your dress is on the stand," and that's what you wear. I couldn't have anyone in the room with me because of the noise and fuss. I just had to get through that day. The dress was obviously hanging to the floor too long for me. I'd lost so much weight that I've got a nice picture of it, but I actually think it's quite funny to watch now. I don't even know the person in the video. Social life was different. Didn't go nightclubbing anymore. Relationships were different. I think noise was the big thing. Was really known that I would be able to cope when I went into a noisier place. The stereotactic treatment was, at the time, very painful. So I had the frame fitted to the head before I was then driven to the treatment equipment, which was in a different section of the hospital. The treatment was pretty simple. I came out of the hospital with big lumps where they put the frame on. What they didn't say was that during the daytimes of after having the treatment that it may hurt. So around about the 2–3 o'clock time every afternoon I would get that headache for 2 years. In the same place, around about the same time, and that really didn't disappear properly until about 2008. Sleep was a really important part of my world after the brain hemorrhage. I used to sleep so much. My mother-in-law, she actually thought that I'd died. I went up to bed one night at 7 o'clock at night. I was really tired in early evenings, and 11 o'clock the next day I still hadn't come down, so she came up to poke me. Yeah, I was told not to have children by Mr. Adams, my neurosurgeon. Sorry, Mr. Adams. But he oversaw both pregnancies. I found out I was pregnant with Annabelle, and the first person I rang was Mr. Adams at Oxford, and I said, all I want to ask is, would you oversee the pregnancy or the delivery when it comes to delivery? And he said yes. And that was like someone giving me a Christmas present. When I first met Robert, he'd just come back from Australia after spending a year and a half here travelling around and doing the travel things. We did come here, and Robert said, do you think you could live here? And I went, absolutely no way. 2006 we did the move. We literally sold up everything, closed down his business, and moved in a 40-foot container. And the dog, not an easy thing to do. I think people thought we were mad, especially with me going through what I've been. It was very important for me to gain relationships and respect that for me, to understand who I was as a person. And because I've trained in this specific lifestyle management, I started to do little cooking classes around my table here, and talking about different ways of cooking and how to gently cook and be kind when you cook and smile when you cook. People felt the difference in the classes that I was teaching, and they said, Jules, you should do more. That made me feel really quite wholesome and who I was. Volunteering for me was very important. But yeah, I suppose through adversity you can get through anything. It's how you choose to do it. I am a tenacious character, but I've also got a side of me that I am quite gentle inside. I guess it was being heard that was the hardest, to get my point of view across of it's not easy when you've got something that's hidden. Being understood and appreciated by those around you, and yeah, love and family, really important.